Work it around again, make it work. One of the most recognisable names and faces in world football, Gigi Buffon has been one of the best keepers of his generation. And now, at the age of 41, he is still playing at PSG after becoming a Juventus legend. However, after PSG crashed out of the Champions League this season with Buffon not having his finest hour, many have thrown doubts over the future of his career. And many are asking now, what is going to happen once Gigi Buffon leaves and probably retires? Well, that's why I'm here to bring you in the next few minutes as we look through 5 potential successors for Gigi Buffon at PSG. First off, let's give a quick shout out to the guys that PSG definitely won't be signing no matter how much money they throw at them. This is because some of the biggest clubs in Europe aren't going to sell to a rival. Once you've got a good goalkeeper, they won't want to sell him, and to be honest, most of the goalkeepers are kind of happy where they are. So we can rule out the likes of Marc-Andre ter Stegen, Manuel Neuer, Kepa, Ederson, Alisson, Samir Handanovic, and even Jan Oblak. I don't think they'll be moving to PSG anytime soon. So with that said, let's bring out our first contestant, and it's Alban Lafond. His phenomenal rise at Toulouse saw him made 106 appearances for the French club, all before the age of 19. Last summer, he made the switch to Fiorentina in Serie A, where he's been doing a pretty impressive job. Granted, at the moment, he's not the biggest name in world football. However, because he's so young, he has so many more years to grow into the role and earn his stripes. And sooner or later, a big team will come calling for him, so why not PSG? The one thing, of course, that PSG have got going for them is that they're the biggest side in France by a million miles, and joining them practically means you're going to have a trophy-filled career. It also means that by playing for the biggest club in France, you'll attract the attention of those that pick the squad for the French national team. With captain Hugo Lloris into his 30s at the moment, it's pretty certain that France will be looking for a new number 1 within the next few years. So if Lafont wants to fill that position, he needs to be seen. He needs to have all the exposure that he can get by playing at the highest level of European football and for the biggest club in his domestic league. From PSG's point of view, he definitely wants to join. And Fiorentina only paid €7.5 million for him. So even if PSG offered 5 or 6 times that just 1 year later, that would be a drop in the ocean considering their transfer budget, and Fiorentina would jump at a chance to make that kind of money on him. As for Lafont, well, he's a pretty good keeper and has shown his skill in now 2 divisions in Europe's top 5. As for when he was at Toulouse, he managed to get 10 clean sheets in his final season, which is pretty impressive considering that Toulouse were fighting relegation. He definitely knows the league, he's got a wealth of experience, and if PSG can get him at a young age, they can mould him into the keeper that they want for the future. If he continues to play to Buffon's age, they could have him for the next 20 years. That's pretty mad to think that. You could sign a keeper and he'd still be your number 1 in 2039. That is chicken oriental. Next up, and a man whose name has appeared in every single one of your rumour columns, media outlets and newspapers that you read, and it's still a surprise, to be honest, that he's still at Manchester United. Up until last summer, David De Gea looked set to join Real Madrid. That was until they brought in Thibaut Courtois from Chelsea. However, after a few months staying at Manchester United, De Gea looks unhappy again, and the rumours have started swirling that he's going to be on his way out. Now, of course, when transfer rumours start to pick up speed, there is always PSG involved because they've got the money to pay. This means that they'll have no qualms to give David De Gea the apparent £350,000 a week deal that he so desperately wants from Manchester United. On top of this, United need to sell him to avoid a massive embarrassment of De Gea leaving on a free next summer. His contract runs out in 2020, and if United are to let one of the best keepers in the world go on a free, it'll be completely embarrassing for the club, meaning that they're going to have to sell him this summer. It's because of this they can't really charge the 100 million that David De Gea would probably go for in the current transfer market, but even if they can get 50 to 60 million out of him, it will still be a pretty good deal. As for his ability, well, the Manchester United 4-time player of the year has definitely got what it takes to be a top goalkeeper. He pretty much already is one of the world's best. I can think of a few occasions when he single-handedly saved the team, the most recent one being in their 1-0 victory at Spurs earlier in the season, where he pulled off an incredible amount of saves to deny Tottenham's front line. Overall, he'd be a fantastic addition to the PSG squad and would definitely help them improve in the future. Third on the list, and we take a break for some transfers to bring you a player who could fill the role that's already at the club, and it's Alfonso Areola. The 26-year-old has practically been grown into this role, having joined the club as a 15-year-old and then being sent out on loan for 3 seasons to various clubs around France and also Villarreal in Spain. However, here is my one question. If Areola was PSG's goalkeeper for the future, and he did appear in all but 5 Ligue 1 games last season, then why did they go and sign Buffon in the summer? Is a 41-year-old Gigi Buffon better than Areola? Is it some sort of marketing gimmick? And have they really brought in a goalkeeper that's massively stopped the development of their future number 1? Surely not. Due to Buffon being brought in, Areola's played just over half of the games this season, and even if he's learning from Buffon in training, it's still stopping his development on the pitch. It's a rather odd decision, and in my opinion, it looks like they don't really trust him. If they did, he would have been their number one outright for the past 2 seasons and into the future. But instead, they brought in Buffon, and well, we wouldn't even be having this conversation if Areola was number one in the first place. Anyways, as for the goalkeeper's ability, well, he's got incredible height, a fantastic command of his area, and is a brilliant shot stopper. The results speak for themselves. This season, he's got 10 clean sheets in 17 Ligue 1 games and is making 2.5 saves per game. That may not seem like a lot, but when you're part of the best defence in Europe's top leagues, you don't really have a chance to shine, so when he does, he is making the saves that count. Of course, as I mentioned before, it looks like PSG won't be sticking with him for the future. They're into big names, big stars, and they want big transfers. So the second that a better option comes along, I can see them replacing Alfonso Areola with someone else. Someone like the 4th person on this list. Now, number 4 on this list then is someone who definitely has not been happy for almost 2 years of football right now. After finally getting his move away from Chelsea after a season which was marred by speculation, Thibaut Courtois has not had the best of times in the Spanish capital with Real Madrid. Things have got so bad recently that Zinedine Zidane, the Real Madrid manager, decided to play his own son, 20-year-old Luka, in place of Courtois for a league game for only his 2nd appearance. This isn't spelling very good news, and especially as Zidane has come out and said that he'll be monitoring all 3 goalkeepers, this includes Keylor Navas, and make his decision over a number 1 in the summer. Who knows, there may even be someone else that they're bringing in. It looks like it could be, again, David De Gea, but those rumours will continue to persist as long as he's at Manchester United. Now, there are a few different factors as to whether or not Thibaut Courtois will stay or leave Real Madrid, potentially to PSG. The first one is that Keylor Navas is still at Real Madrid. This is Zinedine Zidane's tried and trusted goalkeeper who's been part of the team that helped Zidane win 3 back-to-back UEFA Champions Leagues, so of course it's going to be hard to kick Navas completely out of the team. Secondly, and I've just mentioned it, David De Gea could join in the summer. If he does, of course, he'll then go on to be number 1. And lastly, Thibaut Courtois only joined for 35 million because he was in the last year of his contract. This means that if Real Madrid are to sell him, they'd probably get more money for what they paid, even after a bad year in the club's number 1 spot. Because they pay so little for him, even if they get the 35 million back, it's hardly a waste to go on and sell him. It's not like, for example, Barcelona, who paid 135 million for Coutinho and then could sell him, where they definitely won't get that money back. With Madrid, selling Courtois could be a no-brainer. After all, like with every single player on this list, PSG are the ones who are going to be able to afford the transfer fee and then splash out on some ridiculous wages on top. However, if they do, they will actually get a decent goalkeeper. Despite his obvious lack of confidence at the moment, Thibaut Courtois has a fantastic record. If they can get the Courtois that managed to win La Liga with Atletico Madrid and the Premier League with Chelsea, they'll have a fine goalkeeper on their hands. And who knows, maybe he can inspire them to some Champions League glory. We all know he'll be able to lift the Ligue 1 title with PSG because whoever's in goal is pretty much going to lift the trophy. So just before we come to the final goalkeeper on this list, a quick reminder to hit that subscribe button if you guys are new around here, and you can also download the Onefootball app to stay up to date with everything that we've got going on the app and of course on the YouTube channel. And last but not least, we come to what could be a mammoth signing, a record signing for a goalkeeper. Not least because he has a money crazy agent, but also because if you're one of the best goalkeepers in the world at age 20, you're going to command a pretty ridiculously high transfer fee. In Gigi Donnarum, Italy already have their heir to Buffon's throne in the national side, so it only makes sense that he takes over Buffon's role at PSG as well. At age just 20, Donnarum has already been in the first team at AC Milan for a fair few years. He's clocked up over 150 games, become the 2nd youngest ever goalkeeper in Italian Serie A history, and also he's rejected the new 100k a week contract under the guidance of his super agent Areola before reversing his decision and committing to the club again. It looks like he just wanted more money after all, so if it's money that he wants, PSG is the place to go. To be honest, even though the rumours of Donnarumma leaving at the moment are few and far between, when Raiola is your agent and there's money involved, European sides need to be on their toes because a transfer could become available at any moment. All it takes is for one thing to happen, one thing to be said in the AC Milan boardroom to Raiola, he'll catch wind of it, he'll then go and tout his player to loads of different clubs, and a transfer could be on the cards. In Donnarumma though, PSG would be getting one hell of a goalkeeper. A physically imposing 6'5" goalkeeper with cat-like reflexes and unbelievable ability with his feet as well. He truly could be the modern day goalkeeping legend. As I mentioned, he is only 20 years old, so whatever ridiculous price they pay for him, they could get one hell of a return on investment from him. It's these kind of qualities and this kind of stability that really is the basis and foundation for success in the long run. Having a quality goalkeeper allows the spine of the team to be solid, and starting from the back, well, that's becoming more prominent in football, and Gigi Donnarum could be the basis for future success for PSG, maybe even in the Champions League. So there you have it, 5 potential goalkeepers to replace Gigi Buffon at PSG, but what do you guys think? Who is the most likely to join? Could it be Alban Lafond? Could Alfonso Areola step up? There's also Courtois, De Gea, and of course Gigi Donnarum. Let me know all your thoughts down below in the comment section. Smash the like button whilst you're there, and you can also click here to check out all of the videos that we've got going on OneFootball. But until next time, I will see you guys later.